live, and I am going to start with a Mike rant. Restream completely changed their UI this morning, and I say completely. They modified it. They modified the top bar, and you know what they didn't do? They
What?
didn't ask me before doing it.
What?
Yeah, like, they didn't say. It's not like, well, I mean, they could have sent an email, and I just don't open my email, so maybe they did. Maybe they're like, "Hey, Mike, we're planning on changing this thing. You got 24 hours. Go,
Check
no
your
go."
junk folder.
Yeah, but what it makes me think is so many times we get so hung up on the whole idea of, ooh, we got to document everything and we got to let everybody know that all this stuff is going to happen and all the whatever. Um, and I'm looking at the comments, and the comments are good. Hello, everyone. You don't need to tell everybody. You just do it. And then what ends up happening is the people go in there and they kind of bang around on a couple of buttons and then kind of figure it out. Like I was able to figure out, they moved the calendar part, the schedule, from the right side of the frame to the left side of the frame. It took, I was looking over there waiting, trying to figure out, hey, where is it? How can I get to it? They just moved it over to the left, and they've got a couple of other just kind of indicators. Like, instead of the number of people who are watching being over on the left hand side, it's now center of the screen. So they just move things around. Your people will figure shit out if you give them a chance. Don't overthink the whole, oh, we got to make sure we give them a diagram or a cheat sheet on how to use the new
Oh no, it's worse
user
than that,
interface.
Mike. It's
What do you mean it's
they
worse than
ab-
that? It can't
they
be worse
they
than that.
absolutely need a 4-hour workshop in order to prepare for the change. They could never figure it out with just a job aid. I mean, come on.
If they need all of that, maybe your change sucks. Like that's again, I mean, it's different. So, I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
one of the cool things that Restream's doing for me is it made my synapse a little bit faster this morning, where I'm like, ooh, something changed.
Well, here's the interesting the irony of the work that we are in learning and development is that if designers, specifically not solely user interface designers, because I don't ever believe that it's 100% their responsibility. They have to design to the feature set that's been handed down to them and all that kind of stuff. But I've said a few times, and probably should not have, to software development teams, if you just did your job better, I wouldn't have to do mine.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of truth to that.
We could have a little bit of fun of the thing about the things that we say, that sometimes we shouldn't say the quiet part out loud, even though when you say it, it feels really good. And it actually was done with the right intention. Like but anyhow.
I think half of this show is that. So
Oh yeah. Well, okay, so there we go.
On
So
accident.
my best one, my favorite one, and I was an absolute jerk for doing this, but because I did it in a public environment. Had I done it in a non-public environment, it would have been fun. And we got a new person in here, Vitastic. Thank you for coming in here. Yes, Craig. All of our change management sucks. I in the middle of peak season at UPS, and I worked at UPS for 7 years, and it was in my first supervisor role, and this was the first or second year that I had a chance to actually get involved in the peak season staffing discussions. So we've got Gantt charts that show where people are going to move and what planes are coming in at different points. We're doing all the logistics stuff that you do, and it's this is probably mid October, getting ready for peak season, which starts from Thanksgiving on, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted an extra person on the ramp, and I wanted the extra person on the ramp for this period of time, and we worked with it. It was before the ramp was unionized, where we had UPS employees that we outsourced it. We had a contractor that was doing this kind of stuff. Anyway, so we could ramp up people or ramp down people pretty quickly. And we got into an argument over this one person because everybody's like, well, we don't need it. And we can be operationally efficient. What are we going to do with the person when they're not doing this thing for this one period of time? And the one period of time was a very important period of time because we had 3 airplanes on the ground at that point in time. And I wanted to have the extra person just ready to go to do whatever it was that I needed them to do. And the argument went on a little bit longer, probably longer than this story. And I got to the point where I took a $20 bill out of my pocket, put it on the table, and just said, "I'll cover it," to cover the hourly cost of the person for the period of time that I wanted. And you could have heard a pin drop, and I got ripped. We're doing it because there's a group of people. Like, I'm these young. I mean, at that point, I'm like 20. I had to bet 22, 23 years old.
Well, that makes sense. If you're thinking it through and you're thinking about it that way, you're like, listen, why is this even a conversation? It's like, it's $20. It's less than $20. Let's just go. Let's get it done.
Well, and it was going to be like $20 per day. So over the course of the entire time, it would have been a little bit more than that and all that other kind of stuff. But I did it more for the humor and the effect and the let's go. Like, how long are we really going to talk about this? So there we go. So that was probably the foundation, the ripple, the butterfly flapping the wings that led to us doing this show many years.
You were destined to be an old guy shouting at clouds.
But had I done it not in the public environment, the person on the other one would have seen the point, and neither of us would have been dug in on the points and all of that other kind of stuff. So
yeah. Well,
doesn't need to be said. Doesn't need to be said by me. Doesn't need to be said right now. Those 3 things. Doesn't need to be said. Doesn't need to be said by me. Doesn't need to be said right now. You ask those questions right before you say the thing that the quiet part out loud. You might save yourself a little bit of
yeah, I don't
trouble.
do that.
Yeah, no, neither do I. Actually, no, I'm a little bit better at it. But
a wee bit better.
Yeah, well, it depends on who the people who are around, and also how strong the relationship is. Like, early on, I won't, because people don't. There's not as much trust. But over time, you start to build out trust, and people know, hey, look, operating with really good intention, and relatively intelligent, like all of those kind of things. And usually those things end up working the right way, even though it might not be, that change, because your change management sucks. But anyway, this is why I don't have very many close friends.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
All right.
I feel you.
We're warmed up.
Yeah, we're warmed up. Listen, folks, we are here doing AI stuff in learning and development mostly, but we throw in a few stories from time to time that are generic, and then we take a stab at trying to connect it to L&D in some crazy way. And so today will be a fun a fun show script for us today. And also, just so you all know, this is a work in progress. It's an experiment. So if you see things that we should do better, or if there's an Easter egg that you happen to see where something is wrong, please call it out and let us know, because we are actually being very meta in this whole thing and using AI to produce the show. And AI doesn't always do the right things. And so it's kind of fun to have everybody be a part of this production process. So as we go through, it's all good to go. Yes, Craig, we do have a script, and it's amazing. But even better than that, we have
Big tech pays the power bill for that AI glow. The LMS just bought the tool, it's a takeover show. New science for your memory, stop the burnout, go. Fintech is on fire with AI agents in the flow. It's the future of learning, get ready for the grow. All the latest headlines you need to know. It's the
Welcome to the
L&D
show, Tiffany.
Morning Brief. The L&D Morning Brief.
There you have it.
Wow. All right. I want to see. I just can't wait to see the comments roll in on the feedback on that one. So now we went rap to grun to Jetson. Craig is happy. He still has meds left, which is good.
Oh, I have a special one for you today, Craig. It'll be just fine. And here's another cool thing. I stepped up my game a little bit in the AI world. So those of you that have not been with us yet, I use Gemini to do this. And you slipped in something yesterday saying, you know, what you really need to do, Brent, is make it so that it's just in your inbox and ready to go. And Gemini actually has this thing called scheduled actions. So I just took the gem that I normally use and took all the instructions out of it and put it into a scheduled action. And it was ready for me this morning in my chat window when I opened up Gemini at my desk. So
I didn't think we were going to talk out loud about what I said I was slipping into.
what do you
Anyway, we got a comment here. Example of just because you can doesn't mean you should. Uh-oh.
You know, if ever that phrase was appropriate at a moment, it now would have been it. Yes. Thank you very much, Vatastic, for maybe Craig can share some of his meds with you. Oh, Lordy. Anyways, yeah, welcome to the show. Our breaking news today. Big tech has there's an intro first. Good morning, corporate world. It's March 5th, 2026. We are your hosts. That's Mike, otherwise known as Kirkpatrick. I'm Brent Schlenker, otherwise known as Chip Lerner, if we were ever to come up with fake online name personas. And you're watching the L&D Morning Brief. Grab your caffeine and sit down because the industry is moving faster than a learner hitting next on a compliance module. Our breaking news today, Big Tech has officially entered a you break it, you buy it agreement with the power grid. Google, Microsoft, and Meta just signed the Ratepayer Protection Pledge at the White House. They've promised to pay the massive amount of electricity their AI data centers are sucking up. Why does this matter to L&D? Because every time you ask your AI assistant to make this dull PDF into a catchy 5-minute video, a power plant in Virginia starts sweating. If Big Tech is paying more for power, expect your seat licenses to go up. It turns out personalized learning literally costs a spark.
There you go.
Oh, crap. I forgot to share this with you so you can read the next one.
Yeah. You could just drop it in the Slack and I'll jump on it. So,
yeah.
I think anytime that we make decisions about doing something or not doing something, we'll go, Yoda, do or do not. There is no try. We choose when we choose to do something or not do something. Even if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. When you go,
do we drink on that? I don't know.
We can drink on it. It's Shakespeare and Rush. There's an energy, there's a resource consequence, right? So your time that you put towards something, your money that you put towards something, your energy that you put towards something. So I think it's kind of interesting, given how easy it is to access a lot of this stuff. They talk about like frontier models, right? So we're out on the frontier, we're pushing the limits. We've gone west, young man, and we're going all the way out there and doing it. Well, there's some costs associated with it. Well, your $20 a month doesn't necessarily cover all of that. Here's
Right.
the beauty of it, though, as a whole, if we all keep throwing $20 into the pot, there's only going to be a percentage of us that are actually going to add thank you to the end of everything that we do,
That's a token, Mike. That's a
which adds
token.
compute.
You're using
So
a token.
yeah, so
Stop that.
it's kind of interesting. I mean, these are the early stage investments that we're all making. Like we're investing time, energy, and attention to help this stuff come together and kind of figure out what's possible. But there's also other costs out there from a resource standpoint, and I cannot fund my own mini nuclear power plant or the
Not
extra
yet.
energy that's necessary. Yeah, you're right. Not yet. Not yet. I get my couple of my claw bots going before you know it, and then they're inside Moltbook and they're working back and forth with each other, and then who knows? I might be able to scrape away a tenth of a percent of a penny away from every transaction and show up to work in a red Ferrari.
Well, someday. Yeah. Have you clicked on that link yet?
Well, I was just doing a Superman 3 reference while waiting.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
All right, I got it. Got it.
You are the story right after the breaking news.
Oh, crap. Hold on. Story 1, story 2, story 3. I got to scroll through.
It shouldn't be saying story 1. It should be tech and innovation.
All right. What was the last word that you read?
The energy year. I didn't read that, but that's the reference. That's the visual markers, those blue links. Just go underneath that. That's where you should start. Oh, there we go. Speaking of AI, let's talk tech and innovation. Research at Macy's University just used deep learning transformers, no, not Optimus Prime, the AI kind, to decode how our brains recall memories. They found that recent memories live in the hippocampus, but older memories depend on coordinated communication across the whole brain. The L&D takeaway: your one and done training session is basically a brain fart. If you are designing, one of those mornings, if you are designing for long-term system-wide coordination, your learners aren't remembering your content. They're just renting it for 24 hours. Scrap learning has entered the conversation. There you go. I could not read brain fart without laughing. Oh, it's good. Wait.
Future is now. Can you hear the sound? Yeah, the future is now. Revolution all around.
So Massey University was in the news yesterday too.
Yeah, it's funny how this is it's starting to feel like yesterday's news.
It is starting to feel like yesterday's news.
It's like deja vu all over again.
Yeah. It's like seeing that cat just kind of roll by the door.
Just going through. Well, since we've already had brain farts, and since we talked about it yesterday, unless somebody in the chat would like to veto us moving on and you have a question about it, we should probably move on. I'm just checking to make sure we didn't miss something in that story, but I don't think we did.
I don't think so. I mean, I think anytime that we start looking at what we do in the context of systems, I think that's a good thing. No, not Elliot Massey, and I may be pronouncing it wrong. It's Massey University in Auckland, New Zealand.
Yeah, Massey. I don't know. Did I drop that into the chat? Yeah, Science Daily is in there. There's the Massey University and Science Daily talked about it. Let's move on to moving to human and culture. The grind culture is officially dead. A new 2026 report from Mequilibrium says burnout is 50% higher in hustle environments. In 2026, well-being isn't just a Yoga Friday link in the newsletter. It's organizational infrastructure. If your training design is causing stress, you aren't upskilling. You're down spiraling. L&D's new job, designing work that doesn't make people want to fake their own disappearance.
This is kind of cool. And the only
Yeah,
reason
that's called bullshit on it, but okay,
what
you go.
here's the reason it's cool. Mequilibrium was a client of mine.
Oh,
Yeah, a number of years back, and one of the people who ran marketing for Skillsoft.
in that case, it's fabulous. It's like this.
No, we can call
Spot on.
bullshit. Marketing person's not there anymore, and they didn't end up moving forward with a longer term agreement. But anyway, it's cool to see little or known tech. Like, are you familiar with Mequilibrium? Have you heard of them before?
No.
So little or known tech showing up in here, and their whole focus is how do you build resilience inside organizations, specifically large enterprise organizations where there's a lot of stress, and inside call centers there can be a lot of stress. In some areas, or anytime that you have to deal with the public in mass, there can be a lot of stress. And so anyhow, so it's cool to see them pop up in here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the reason why this concerns me, the hyper focus on well-being from a corporate perspective has always made me wonder what in the hell we're doing.
What do you mean?
Like, when a company gets so large, they have so much money that they spend it on things and activities that we would typically do on our own time outside of work.
Ice cream socials, trust falls, and pizza.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Do the work, right? Yeah, like I think if you ask any employee, if you told them, hey, listen, we can either build a gym and a tennis court and a basketball court and have everybody work 10 hours a day, and you get all those things. So while you're here, you get to go play for free. You get to use these facilities, and your family can come and do it too. Or we'll make your workday 6 hours, and then you just get to go do whatever you want. Tell me how many people want the 8 to 10 hours and all of the free little Benny things. And then the corporation they work for then becomes their home, their church, their community, their, all of the things. I think that became a thing for a few decades. I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Well, it's been a while since I've clocked in and clocked out. And the reason I say it that way is because if you're clocking in and clocking out, and you literally have the time card, like at Burger King, I'd walk in there and it would click, and then when it was done, you'd go and hit it again, and it would click, and you do that same kind of thing. I did the same kind of thing at UPS. Like, it was there. It's been a while since I've clocked in and clocked out. It's also been a while since I've worked inside an office environment. In that kind of environment. Now I get a chance to see the office environment when I go out and I'm on site with clients. So it's not that I don't experience that anymore. It's that I don't experience it in the same way that I used to. I know that having a gym on site at a location or having a cafeteria, like the number of times that I had really good meetings in Intel cafeterias is, those are memorable experiences because we didn't have to go off site. Like, we didn't have to jump in the car and drive away and go do that kind of stuff. So there's something.
I think that's a little bit different though, because you're expected to take a lunch break anyway. So if you're going to take it on campus, of course, So I think the thing is, like, hey, what are we doing here? Like, are we putting a ping pong table in the break room, but then getting irritated when people play ping pong? Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because if you are, you're signaling the wrong thing, right? Like, so let's be honest with each other about like what I can't believe I said it's the music. The music made me say like multiple times. Back into like 80s or 90s pop, and now I'm a fucking valley girl. Anyway, there's a like, don't go and put the ping pong table out there if you don't want people to use it is what I'm saying on that side. Now on the equilibrium side, Alana Fink, who's one of the people who's involved in the behavior science side of what they do, has been on the podcast a couple of times. So if you're into resilience and doing that kind of stuff, really figuring out, hey, what can I do? What kind of systems can I put in place to help me be more resilient in times where we're under high stress, which we are under a lot of stress right now. There's so much information that's coming at us every day. Take a look at that just go to the Find My Catalyst podcast, do a search for Alana Fink, and you'll see it there. And I'll add links into the Slack channel for the people that are in the Slack channel. If you want to get into the Slack channel, just send Brent and I a note, and we'll make that happen. There you go. Just look at this way. Did we put the ping pong table out there and expect people to actually play, or are we pissed off that they're playing it and wonder why they're not doing their job?
Why aren't you working? Yeah.
That will answer most of your questions.
And I think, what everybody misses too is that they think, oh, the job that we've given them is so stressful and we're responsible for their well-being. But a lot of times too, it's people bring in their outside stresses into the office, and you have no control over that. And I mean, you can. If your well-being initiative isn't working, you might want to look at the fact that it's not your business and your company that's causing people's unwell-being.
Right.
Anyways,
I mean, unless you happen to be in one of those places, unless you happen to be in one of those places where they actually started installing nets on the outside of buildings, if you happen to be in one of those places, then it might be something you're driving there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've never worked in one of those places.
Yeah. Well, you got the next story there, Mike.
Hold on. Craig, look at Craig's freaking comment.
It's not I guess we could make it a metaphor, but I don't think you were you?
I am full of freaking metaphors and analogies, and I don't know the difference between either of them because English is not my strong suit. Arizona State University, forks up. Go Devils. Yeah. All right. So I need some help. Am I on industry specific?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Now for our industry specific deep dive, fintech. Dutch Paytech Silverflow just bagged $40 million to expand their cloud native payment processing. Why do we care? Because their growth is fueled by agentic AI that doesn't just talk but acts. For L&D and finance, this means we stop training people to process payments and start training them to manage the bots that process the payments. It's the shift from being the pilot to being the air traffic controller. I love the fact that we have moved from architects to air traffic controllers.
I think Gemini's been listening to us. I think they took that into consideration and said, I've been dropping the word architect into the scripts for too long. I'm going to come up with a different metaphor today.
ATC, let's go.
Are you an ATC in L&D, LMNOP?
What I learned from what was the movie Pushing 10? What I learned about L&D from watching the movie Pushing 10. You don't know the reference?
No, I don't. You lost me there, man.
All right. Okay.
Finally, the authoring tool shakeup. LearnUpon has officially acquired Coursera. Whatever that word is. The AI-assisted authoring platform. The message is clear. The wall between where we host training and how we build training is falling down. If you're still manually building slides in 2026, you're basically using a stone tablet. Learn Upon wants you to prompt to publish without ever leaving your dashboard. Prompt to publish kind of sounds like if you were to just go into like Copilot or Gemini or any of the other ones and, I don't know, ask it to build a course.
I think we're gonna have some bumper stickers. Gonna be like, "You down with P2P?" Yeah, you know me. Like,
Live with Brent
so
and
this is
Mike.
awesome.
Are you down? We're down with PTP.
Down with PTP. So this is awesome. Craig earlier in the chat throws this one up. OMG. Are we making a ping pong table a metaphor now? Then later in the chat says, yeah, you're full of metaphors. Let's go with that. Seriously, I think it's actually a cool analogy. So was it an analogy or was it a metaphor? Because now I'm really confused. And Craig also did say that Pushing Tin is a highly underrated movie.
I'm super happy that you caught Craig's purposeful use of both terms in the same sentence.
No, separate like they were separate comments, like close enough to each other where I could grab a screenshot of them. So Pushing Tin, heavily underrated movie. So the other thing you get from us, periodically we will drop movie quotes and drink a little bit of coffee.
Every time you hear a movie reference, you get to drink your cup of coffee.
And we will make recommendations on movies, including movies like Almost Famous, which came up late last year. So I was doing some of the Merry and Bright.
Oh yeah, that's been around for a while.
And we went to, I know that Wendy went and watched it. Finally, now Brent has been introduced to the idea that there's this movie out there called Pushing 10. So he's going to go out and watch it. And then we'll do maybe we do a separate entertainment segment where we focus on the lessons that we can learn from movies that apply to LND.
We already go off the rails enough, Mike. I think purposefully going off the rails is not a good idea. We can barely squeeze in everything we want to say every morning in 60 minutes.
We can go off the rails by design instead of organically. How awesome is that? Like that. What could be better?
Let's make the 7 o'clock show be entertainment. How about that?
And that's the brief. Go forth and operationalize your AI without losing your soul. I'm off to see if my AI can write my performance review for me. See ya.
Live with Brent and Mike. Live with Brent and Mike. Live with Brent and Mike. Live with Brent and Mike.
I'm so happy that you got the board working.
That's going to be a classic right there. As soon as I heard it, I knew that's the one. That is the one. Like, we just have to cut people loose. Just relax. If we're going to talk about well-being in the script, we need to help people refocus, center themselves a little bit, relax. What's better than a little smooth jazz? All right, Craig. This one's for you.
Big tech pays the power bill for that AI glow. The LMS just bought the tool. It's a takeover show. New science for your memory. Stop the burnout, go. Fintech's is on fire with AI agents in the flow. It's the future of learning. Get ready for the grow. All the latest headlines you need to know.
How's that? A little better?
I I think it is absolutely awesome because I mean, no, you're listening to it after the show. You're like, oh, okay, all of the callbacks, right? Like,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah. Hey,
It is.
Craig, let's say 3 years ago, I would have said, Craig, I need you to record something like that for me. How much would it have cost, and how long would it have taken you, ballpark? And I know we'll have to wait for a little bit here, but what do you think?
Could probably ask AI, but I mean, how much like, well,
So you could do a lot of the background stuff with something like GarageBand, right? Or you could actually play it directly. So there's a couple of different ways that you can pull some of
yeah,
that
but you're still
together.
gonna have to build the loop. You're gonna have to build, and then if you're a big company and you're paying somebody, yeah, it'll cost you a lot of money. That's for
Well, how
sure.
about
A jingle.
how about the vocals? Like, where do the vocals come from? Because you got to get back then. You got to get somebody to do it, right?
Oh yeah, you got to get a singer. So you're gonna have to hire talent. You're gonna need musicians to go into the studio. You're gonna have a studio. So you're gonna have to rent studio time.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna have to be creative enough to write the lyrics or the song or whatever. Someone's gonna have to write the tune, the music for it. And then you're gonna have to record it, and then it has to be produced. And then it's yeah,
You're
and
gonna have
then
to
all
have
the
them,
other.
and you'll have to have them on staff because if it's going to be the morning brief today, we got to send it to them.
Oh yeah, if we were to do if we were to pay someone to do a custom one like that every single morning that was specific to the show's content, it couldn't be done. You literally could not do it. You couldn't do it. And that's the reason why ever since I started jumping into the AI, I knew I wanted to do this show. I knew I wanted to do something like this because I didn't need to sit in a room in my first career with a whole bunch of people that I didn't like and produce a 5, 6, and 10 o'clock news show and have it be crappy. Instead, you get super cool songs. You get great images that you can see in the Slack if you were part of the Slack.
And you get to do it with people you like.
And you get to do it with actual people you like. People you like hanging out with. It is a wonderful time to be doing any of this stuff. But
It's so
yeah.
cool. Like
When you're a creative person and you're working in an environment like that where you're looking forward to your job that you're going to get out of undergrad that is going to be creative and allow you to be creative, and then you realize the reality of the workforce is no, there's no room for a whole lot of creativity. You just get it done. That's it. You don't get to sit and go, oh, what would make that a much cooler edit is if we just tighten it up a little bit more. It's like, no, fine, move on. Has anybody ever seen in the movie called Broadcast News, I think is what it was called. Or maybe that's the TV show that I'm thinking of. Or there's a movie by the same name. It's an old movie. I think it was in the 80s. But there's this epic scene at the beginning where the producer's calling for a particular video, and the woman that works in the studio runs from the edit bay with the tape. It's not digital, and she's hauling ass through the whole entire building to get to the studio, and they shove it into the tape deck and they hit play right at the perfect time when the anchor is calling for it, and they hit play, boom. That's like a winning moment for a production team. That's what it was like back in the day. Now they just kind of ask AI to do it. I would hope anyways. But it's a great movie too, by the way. So you should check that one out.
So we've got two movies, Pushington and
I think it's Broadcast News. Shoot, can somebody Google it for me or something? I don't know.
All right. So a
Hmm.
couple.
Actually, I need to totally scratch what I said earlier because when
There we go. Just do what my dog, or both of the dogs do. Like when something happens and they need to like reset the algorithm, just like shake it off real quick. You know, like that whole
yeah,
thing. There you go.
it's like
There
you
you
can do that with your iPhone too. You know that where if you shake it,
go.
it'll undo the last thing.
It'll undo
So
the text,
here,
but
hold
it
on a
won't.
second.
It
Hold on a
won't
second.
undo
It's
the
like this.
send on it.
And there.
For those of you who have some kind of susceptibility to like shaking things and lights, I am sorry for that.
No, but I've been reset. So the person that was able to do this, and I'm not questioning your ability to do this, Craig, not by any stretch of the imagination, because I have full faith in your ability to pull this off. But Sam Rogers is actually an award-winning beatboxer and entertainer. And when I first started doing live streams like this, I've done a few shows, some successful, others not successful. So I know how to do both kinds.
Where's this one sit?
Oh yeah, we're on a good track, right? We're moving right in the right direction. But I would ask Sam to come on and do an intro for me. So when we would go live, he would beatbox a new custom intro every morning, and it was awesome. It was so good. And then when we did a live event with TLDC, I had him do some of his beatboxing as our interlude between keynotes and entertain the audience in the general sessions. It was a good time. But yes, broadcast news, that is the one with William Hurt, Albert Brooks, and Holly Hunter. Fantastic movie. If you want to see more about the behind the scenes of news, there's like HBO movies and stuff like that now too that do kind of the same thing, but this one's it's a classic.
We will add that to the list of movies to watch.
It's funny. It's funny. It's romantic. It's a romantic comedy, you know, kind of thing. And
so we've got a big announcement for next week. A couple of announcements as we get toward the end of the show today. And as a reminder, we do this every Monday through Thursday at 6 o'clock in the morning, Arizona time. So we're going to make all of you change your time next week because we're not changing our time. So instead of 8 o'clock in the morning East Coast time, we will move to 9 o'clock in the morning. You gain an extra hour. We're like everything else that we've talked about throughout this. This is a test. We're going to test and we're going to see what different times do for us as far as drawing a different audience, see how that works out. It will still be 6 o'clock our time. We will be in the Pacific time zone at next week, which is what happens here in Arizona because we don't change our clocks. Actually, I think we call it Arizona Mountain Time, and we just always are there, and the Mountain Time moves around. But anyhow, so 9 o'clock Eastern next week, starting on Monday, 6 o'clock Pacific. So ideally, we pick up some folks on the West Coast who've given us some feedback and said we're just a little bit too early. For some reason, people do not want to wake up at 4:45 in the morning to be all ready to go and listen to us at 5 o'clock. I don't understand why. But
who wouldn't want to hang out with us and wake up early?
Like what better way to start your day?
All of the top 5 things that's really super successful people do. One of those top 5 things on the TikToks. You know, everything is true and real on all of the social medias. They say the top 5 things that really successful people do is they wake up early. So if you want to be super successful, you got to wake up early and then surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. So you got to come hang out with us so that we can be the ones that are surrounded by people smarter than us.
There was this really old dude, not Socrates, but Ben Franklin. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. So there you go. The TikTok is caught up with it. Ben Franklin shared that way back when.
Yeah, they don't miss a beat. They do not miss a beat. And also, we should tell people. And I don't know, maybe I missed this part of your explanation, but we're going to have a new YouTube channel on
Yes,
Monday
we are
also.
on Monday. So a couple of some other new stuff. We're going to move to a new YouTube channel. Brent, what's the YouTube channel?
These guys are awesome.com. No, live with Brent and Mike.com.
Well, that's the URL. So we're also launching that too. So if you go to livewithbrentandmike.com, you can subscribe to our site, which is on Beehive. And we're not publishing any content there, but we will publish recaps. One of the things that has come up that we've gotten some feedback on is, hey, we miss you guys on Friday. So we're going to continue to keep things moving along with a couple of challenges and summary stuff that we will do on Friday. And you might see an appearance of Notebook LM to help with some of the production of that. Did you see what they announced yesterday?
No.
Dude.
Was it the video thing about creating videos?
The updated version of it, not the version that we saw just a week and a half ago. Like the updated version of it. It is.
This is my idea. Okay. This is, and I don't know. I have so many things I want this show to be, and I want to use AI for. One of them would be, as we do each one of these shows Monday through Thursday, the recording gets put into let's just say Notebook LM repository.
Yep.
The script gets put into that repository associated with that video. And then what Friday is a AI produced highlights reel where it pulls the best clips, the best moments out of each one of the shows Monday through Thursday and edits it into a reel that automatically goes live on its own Friday without us.
This is what we need like the SpongeBob meme. Imagination. And actually it's all going to be real next week. Like that's the beauty of this.
Live with Brent and Mike.
Yeah.
Live with Brent and Mike.
Hey, cool cats out there in Music Land.
Live with Brent and
Craig, where we're going, you don't need no meds.
That's our new tagline. You don't need medication when you're watching Live with Brent and Mike.
So a couple of things are launching next week. The YouTube channel, the website, the updated time, just because of time change. And if you'd like to keep the conversation going, come join us in Slack. Appreciate Craig for being here, Wendy for being here. I do not know who Vatastic is. I appreciate you for being here too. We'll figure out who that is. And thanks everybody for doing this. Brian, I say we do it again on Monday. What do you think?
I say we do it too. I think it's a good idea. You guys can hit me up on LinkedIn and shoot me a DM, shoot Mike or I, either one of us a DM if you want to get into the Slack channel. And Mike, where can people find their catalyst?
We're not doing that anymore.
Or not?
Okay. Oh no. We have a website. We got a URL. We don't really have a logo. But we have
a temporary fill-in logo.
So just if you want to connect up with us, go to livewithbrentandmike.com and sign up. That's it. Like livewithbrentandmike.com, sign up, put your name in there, your email address. All we're doing is capturing email addresses at this time. We're not going to be sending anything out just yet. We're still working on building out our workflow on that. You hit livewithbrentandmike.com. You will connect up with us. We are watching it. Hey, John, good to see you again. It is thank you for your support and for being here both and making the shift over from LinkedIn over to here. So next week, YouTube channel. Next week, we'll have the summary that'll go through. Next week, 9:00 in the morning Eastern, still 6:00 in the morning Mountain Time. And if anybody needs to figure out why It's still 6 o'clock in the morning mountain for us in Arizona. We'll help you with that too at some point in time. And yeah, hit up livewithbrentandmike.com. And we are, as always, just getting started. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Adios. Have a great day.
Brent, I think you should send us out with some music while I hit the end stream.
Oh, yes.
Live with Brent and Mike.
Can I make this my ringtone?